Welcome back to the Money Show, and it's time to take all your portfolio related queries answered by the experts. And as we know that there are a plethora of funds that are available in the market to invest your hard-earned money, but how do you assess that which is the right fund for your portfolio, catering to your needs? And if you have an existing portfolio, is that correct with regards to your needs or not? So these are the questions that generally come in mind of our viewers, and we will try to answer all of that with today our special guest being joined. And with this, let me welcome Hemant Rustagi of Wise Invest. Hi Hemant, very good evening and thank you so much for your time. But before I come to you for our first query, let me just give a caveat to our viewers that they can write to us by sending their queries on a WhatsApp number, that is 865-797-4571, and they can also email us their queries on themoneyshow@etnow.tv. But with this, Hemant, let's begin with the first query. And this is an email query coming in from NS Shekhawat. And Hemant, he's saying that currently he's doing an SIP of 20,000 rupees total across three particular funds. Firstly is Parag Parekh, Flexi Cap, HDFC Nifty 50 Index, as well as HDFC Balance Advantage Fund. He wants to know, are these three funds a good choice? His aim is to achieve 1.5 to 2 crores in the next 7 to 10 years. And what other funds should he consider, and what additional SIP amount is required to achieve his target of 1.5 to 2 crores in the next 10 years? And he also wants to ask that in total, how many funds should one have in the portfolio? Currently, he's 44 years old, and he feels that a bit late in this investment journey, but he just wants your valuable advice so that he can go ahead and have the corpus ready for his kids' education and marriage as well.
Well, I think there are two important aspects here. One is that he has a time horizon of around 10 years, and the target is around 1.5 crore. So if you take 1.5 crore as the target, assuming annualized return of 12%, he will have to actually invest 65,000 rupees to get there. Because the time horizon is only 10 years. I mean, even though he may be feeling that he has enough time on hand to build that, but I think the corpus required is quite large. So 65,000 is what he needs to invest. He's currently investing around 20,000. So there is a shortfall of around 45,000. So he needs to increase his SIP by 45,000 to get there. There are three funds. I would say that all the three funds are quite good. There is Flexi Cap Fund, Parag Parekh Flexi Cap Fund. There is Index Fund, and there is a Balance Advantage Fund. But the problem is that if you look at his time horizon of 10 years, I think he needs to have proper allocation to all the three segments of the market. That's large cap, mid cap, and small cap. Here, I see a very heavy bias towards the large cap, because there is one index fund which is 100% large cap. Even Parag Parekh Flexi Cap predominantly invests in large cap, but there is some exposure in the US stocks. There are 4 stocks where 16-17% is invested there. So I think he needs to make a few changes here. One is he can continue to keep invested in Parag Parekh Flexi Cap, but for the remaining two funds, and also I feel that the Balance Advantage Fund is not the right kind of fund, especially when you're trying to build a corpus over a longer period of 10 years. So I think pure equity fund would be a better option. So two funds I'm recommending, you can consider them. One is multi-cap fund, because multi-cap fund will allow him to invest in all three segments of the market, because the multi-cap fund has to maintain minimum 25% exposure to all the three segments. So you can consider investing in Nippon India multi-cap fund. One large and mid-cap fund, where a minimum of 35% is allocated to both large and mid-cap. And the remaining is up to the fund manager to decide where he would like to invest this money. So that can be HDFC large and mid-cap. So two changes in the portfolio, because I believe pure equity fund will be good, especially when you have a time horizon of 10 years and you're investing through SIP. As for how many funds you have in the portfolio, I think it's always good to make a portfolio according to your goal and don't have too many funds. But for here, for example, he's investing 20,000, 3 funds are perfectly all right, as long as you're able to select the right fund and ensure that they're a diversified fund and you're able to invest across different segments of the market.
Hemant, thank you so much for giving us a detailed answer to Mr. Shekhawat's query. But with this, we'd like to wrap this edition. We are really sorry we couldn't go ahead with other queries. We are a bit squeezed on time for today. But it was great having you, Hemant, to help us understand and to help guide Shekhawat's query on his portfolio as of now. Thank you so much for your time. But with this, viewers, it's time to wrap this edition of The Money Show. It's a goodbye from me and the entire team who put the show together. Thanks so much for watching.